Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moments. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of BTTH The Flame Emperor Part 4 based on novel. So let's start. With the disappearance of Dan Lei, then you also slowly disappeared. It's done. Xiao Yan shouted loudly. The 3 piles of liquid in the medicine cauldron had already fused together, and when Xiao Yan drank it, a dark red medicinal pill was slowly bred from the medicine cauldron. The dark red delicate elixir, after being silent for a few seconds, suddenly burst into the sky full of tyrannical fighting spirit, trying to break free from Xiao Yang's control. The seemingly ordinary and invisible power contains the power that makes the soul tremble. Xiao Yan recognized it at a glance. This is impressively a means of soul attack. You must know that the ordinary 8th grade pills already possess a certain human nature, and the 9th grade pills have corresponding spirituality. As for the Emperor grade pills, they already have wisdom that is not weaker than that of humans, so they want to break free from birth. Xiao Yan's control allows him to live in this world. Looking at the agitation of the dark red medicinal pill in the medicine cauldron, how could Xiao Yan not be clear? 9-color Dan Lei Man Tian Dan Rain has succeeded. How could it fail in this last step? He immediately sat down with his legs crossed and his eyes closed, because Xiao Yan also knew that if he wanted perfect control to subdue this unruly imperial medicine pill, he could only control it from his soul. Defeat it with soul power and make it surrender. That is the soul tempering that President Baisu said. Only a small number of people know that if a medicinal pill surpasses the imperial grade, it has the wisdom not weaker than human beings. At this time, only after the medicinal pill's soul tempering can it calm down and become a real imperial medicinal pill. The so-called soul training is the battle of the soul. In general, the power of the soul contained in the imperial pills is extremely powerful, and it will cause serious trauma to every pharmacist, but when encountering Xiao Yang, this imperial pill is obviously asking for hardships. Xiao Yang is the soul of the emperor. Moreover, he has already cultivated his soul, and there is even more help from different fires. Boom boom boom. The dark red elixir hovered above the medicine cauldron, and the surrounding area of the elixir continued to emit visible soul power. The power transformed into a huge python with fangs and claws, constantly circling and moving, constantly swallowing the snake-letter child at Xiao Yang, as if looking for the most suitable time to launch a fatal blow. This is a giant python comparable to a 4-star Do-D. Everyone felt it from the terrifying python. Xiao Yan's own strength is the 3-star Do-D, and although most of the pharmacists have strong soul power, there are very few martial arts and fighting skills for cultivating the soul, so the attack method of soul power has always been the disadvantage of pharmacists. Soul tempering is also to strengthen the alchemist's control over the power of the soul so that it can use the power of the soul to launch unexpected attacks. Xiao Yan closed his eyes and sat on the steps, also mobilizing his enormous soul power to fight against the imperial medicine pill. A trace of huge soul power continuously radiated from Xiao Yan's body, and gathered into a grey energy dragon under the eyes of everyone. The giant dragon screamed at the python in the sky, as if it was declaring war like the python condensed from the imperial medicine pill. I don't know how this kid's soul attainments are. The soul power of the Emperor pill can't be underestimated. If it really doesn't work, let me do it. After all, it's already a good thing for this kid to do this. In the future, I have to thank this kid. Baisu looked at the stalemate in the sky, but Xiao Yang's soul battle had already ended. Downwind. The giant dragon was constantly being bitten by the python, and the energy giant already had holes in its body, as if it could be destroyed at any time. When everyone saw Xiao Yan like this, they couldn't help but be shocked. The materialization of soul power requires powerful soul control power, and the consumption of soul power is also enormous. What's more, this is not only the materialization of soul power, but also uses the soul power after materialization to attack. If the energy dragon suffers huge damage, the damage will be fed back to Xiao Yang in a geometric multiple. Only then did President Baisu worry. He thought that Xiao Yan could do this at a young age. No matter what, he had to be protected. This is the future of the Alchemist Association. The battle in the sky is still going on. The increasingly condensed energy python chased and beat the giant dragon in waves, and the giant dragon could only retreat in the face of the powerful attack of the python. But discerning people can see the difference. Know how to forbear, charge up a blow. This Xiao Yan is really powerful. The silver-haired woman Yueru initially frowned as she watched the retreating giant dragon in the sky fall into the lower winds. He was also worried that Xiao Yangdan would be severely damaged by the destruction, but in a blink of an eye, Xiao Yan, who had closed his eyes, seemed to be muttering something to himself, and then he looked at the giant dragon in the sky and it seemed that something was quietly brewing, and he immediately understood. Come over. Humph. After being arrogant for so long, it's time to end. Xiao Yan, who was sitting with his eyes closed, suddenly opened his eyes and shouted loudly. It's over. The transparent giant dragon that was about to disappear suddenly spit out a terrifying energy from its mouth, heading straight for the python. The python, transformed by the dark red medicinal pill, seemed to realize that this terrifying energy was not something he could resist, and hurriedly escaped, but Xiao Yan had endured it for so long, how could he have given it this chance? Huang Quan's anger. Immediately, he struck the phantom of the python who wanted to escape. It was the three fighting skills of Huang Quan Finger, Huang Quan Palm, Huang Quan Jian Fury, and Huang Quan's Heavenly Wrath that were obtained from the demon saint of Huang Quan at the beginning. Since Xiao Yang was promoted to Do Emperor, even this heavenly rank Do skill is not to be underestimated. Especially Huang Quan's anger of soul attack, every time Xiao Yang uses it, it has a miraculous effect. How could the python that escaped originally thought that Xiao Yang had such a powerful means of attacking his soul? His soul stagnated for a second, and the huge energy phantom also stayed in the air. Saying it's too late is too fast, 1 second is fleeting, but that's enough. Xiao Yang smiled knowingly. Just after Huang Quan's anger caused the python to stagnate for a second, the terrifying energy in the dragon's mouth reached the python. Yu reading www.ukangshu.com. Bang bang bang. A series of voices came from the python. The huge python that was majestic instantly shattered, and the restless medicinal pill in the medicine cauldron also fell silent. The soul of the Emperor's medicine pill has been defeated, you should surrender. Cheng Dan. President, this Imperial medicinal pill is really extraordinary, and I was lucky enough to finish it. Xiao Yang held the warm medicinal pill he had just taken out from the jade bottle and clasped his fist at President Baisu, suddenly exhausted. Qing Yuan had been silently watching Xiao Yang refining the medicinal pills before, and seeing Xiao Yang like this, he hurriedly stepped forward to support Xiao Yang. The traces of fighting qi spread out from Qing Yuan's body. Xiao Yang felt that these fighting qi could actually make him the fighting qi that was about to be exhausted in the body quickly recovered, and even the soul was nourished. Xiao Yang was very shocked by this situation. He had never heard of this kind of fighting spirit, but he didn't ask much about it in the Alchemist Association, and immediately looked at the president Bai Ruo. It's wonderful, it's really wonderful. Xiao Yang's medicine refining skills are really amazing. I announce that Xiao Yang, your Emperor rank first rank profound pill, has passed the alchemist examination. President Baisu said to the fellow students and the person in charge of the association present. At the same time, you will also be the youngest worship elder of our Alchemist Association. Serve the elders? It is rumored that the worshipping elders of the Alchemist Association are at least the first rank earth pills of the Emperor rank or the strength of the 4-star Do Emperor or above. But judging from Xiao Yang's refining method this time, this worship elder lives up to its name. The people present said sparsely. Sorry, the president is going to disappoint you. I may not have time to be the dedicated elder of the Alchemist Association. Xiao Yang looked at everyone embarrassedly. What did you say? Bai Ruo was furious. Vice Chairman, calm down, the kid is just used to it, he's not used to this kind of restraint, so I'm going to let you all down. Xiao Yang looked at Bai Ruo apologetically. Ha ha ha. You really don't have to worry about it. Baisu hurriedly grabbed his younger brother Bai Ruo, who was just too impatient, and the haste is not enough. Little friend Xiao Yang, listen to me, you can rest assured that the enshrined elder of our Qingcheng Alchemist Association can also be a temporary post, not necessarily to stay in the association. Moreover, the association's worshipping elders have status wherever they go, and it is extremely convenient to buy some medicinal herbs. Baisu accompanied him with a smile. Baisu is an old fox. Looking at Xiao Yang's achievements at a young age, his future achievements are limitless. Hence the invitation. Little friend Xiao Yang, what do you think? Okay, I'll join, but let's just say it's just a name. Xiao Yang also knew that he was a first-timer on the ramp, and joining Qingqing's Alchemist Association's worship elder could indeed bring him a lot of help, so he agreed, but Xiao Yang agreed. Yang is really not suitable to be an elder. At best, he is a hands-off shopkeeper. You little bastards, don't hurry up and refine the medicine. What insights do you have after watching it for so long? Go to retreat for me. You can see other people, Xiao Yang, and Xiao Yang are watching you. Baisu marveled at Xiao Yang at the bottom of the steps. The members of the Yang's association shouted loudly. When the people under the steps heard this, they were still a little unconvinced, secretly saying that it was unfair, but who made others Xiao Yang have the strength to make the president eccentric? Immediately had to leave. Then it's such a pleasant decision. I'll go and register it for you. It really takes a lot of time to refine the Imperial medicine pills. Bai Ruo, take them to the restroom to rest. Baisu said while saying, follow me. Bai Ruo did not dare to refute and immediately took Xiao Yang and the others to the lounge. That's it, you all go in and rest for a while, then the president will come over. If you need anything, just call me directly. Bai Ruo led Xiao Yang and the others for a while, walked to a room that looked a little delicate, and opened it. The door was busy with his own business. Hello, Xiao Yang, my name is Yueru, it's a pleasure to meet you. Xiao Yang and Qing Yuan had just pushed in the door. He first heard a sweet voice, and then saw a 3,000 green silk with silver hair. Falling down, a delicate palm stretched out to a girl who smiled at Xiao Yang. Qing Yuan, have we gone to the wrong place? Xiao Yang looked at Qing Yuan behind him with some confusion. What kind of trouble is this? Unfortunately, Qing Yuan was also at a loss. Wait. You didn't go wrong. You hurriedly said, because Xiao Yang and the others seemed to be leaving. She originally thought that she would greet Xiao Yang very well, and then, how did she expect that Xiao Yang would simply not follow suit? Routine play. Miss Yueru, right? Do you have anything to do with me? Xiao Yang looked at the woman named Yueru and said, this is the internal lounge of the Alchemist Association, and the people who can enter here are either powerful or powerful people. Then I won't speak secretly. I just watched your alchemist assessment and I know from the president that you have another purpose for your visit this time, to find the Emperor-level Dragon Demon Core. He did not shy away from saying it directly. How could someone who can pass the examination of an Imperial alchemist be an ordinary person with a strange treasure? I need your flame, in other words, I need the fire spirit on you to do something. Of course, this so-called thing is just my family affairs, and I won't let you kill people and set fires. Our Yu family will give you a reward that will satisfy you, and although we don't have the Dragon Demon Core you need, we have accurate information. You couldn't help but look at Xiao Yang with a bit of moving in her eyes. Not much, before finding Fire Elf's own father. Oh. Xiao Yang also thought about it seriously. Dragons have always been high-ranking creatures. Even other beasts with dragon bloodlines are poor. The girl in front of me actually has news of dragon beasts. Then the background not easy. Although the murderer of the Mu family has already been killed by Xiao Yang still has to refine the Guban Pei Yuan pill for Qing Yuan to take, to see what the master said, and to find out what is on Qing Yuan's body. It's a secret. How can you let go of such good news now? How are you thinking? Yu was a little impatient. Looking at Xiao Yang, who had not responded for a long time, her vindictive aura was instantly aroused. If this didn't tempt Xiao Yang, then she could only. Thinking of that, Yu's cheeks couldn't help but feel uneasy. Slightly red. Samsung Do Di. Xiao Yang exclaimed. Although the 3-star Do Di didn't do much damage to him, he didn't expect that the woman in front of him was actually a strong Do Di, so she could sit here because she was not a powerful person but a powerful person. What do you want to be, a mere 3-star Dodi? Xiao Yang's soul power protected Qing Yuan and shouted to Yueru. All right, don't get angry, the two of you, make money with peace. President Baisu hurried over after registering, but she knew that Yueru and this Xiao Yang were time bombs. Let's close the aura first, Yueru, communicate well, you don't seem to have much time. Humph. Yueru snorted coldly and then calmed down. This is your assessment medal. Remember to keep it. Also, this is a special cloak made by our Alchemist Association. You can hide your aura when you wear it on your body. Ordinary 3-star fighting emperors may not be able to find it. Baisu handed the things over to him. Xiao Yang, Yueru on the side seemed to be still a little angry, but looking at this scene, he realized that the man in front of him was a first-rank alchemist, and his behavior was indeed. I'm sorry, Yueru didn't control her emotions just now. When she thought that her father's time was running out, it was difficult to find someone with a fire spirit. She originally planned to communicate well, but she was confused when she cared. It was inevitable that Yang Shishi didn't decide to be a little angry, so there was the next scene. I promise you, but I can't guarantee that the treatment will be successful. I can only promise to do my best. Xiao Yang also didn't know what the situation of the woman in front of him was, but after thinking about it, he agreed. If there is no such place as the Alchemist Association, which is called the Paradise of Medicine Refining, it would be a real pity to miss the news that Yueru had. You agreed. Yueru obviously didn't expect Xiao Yang to be like this. There was no change in the first second, but the next second she agreed. My father was beaten to death by a monster because he hunted a monster. I know from some secrets that only the fire elves can save him. Yueru also said that these are no secrets. Father used to dote on him very much, but now his life is at stake. He was fortunate enough to meet a person who possessed a fire elf. No matter what, Yueru had to say something to dispel Xiao Yang's worries. Qing Yuan was obviously moved by the scene of Yueru, and being able to do this for her father was enough to see that Yueru was a dutiful son. It's useless to talk too much, we'll find out when we get there. Xiao Yang also said solemnly, he didn't dare to guarantee such a deal, who knew what happened to her father. That guild leader, can you help me pay attention to the demon core of the Emperor rank dragon? Xiao Yang obviously didn't give up, and then asked the guild leader Baisu. The magic core of the Emperor grade pills no longer distinguishes the attributes, as long as the magic core of the Emperor level beast can be refined. However, the Emperor-level magic core is generally priceless, and the magic core of the dragon is basically it hasn't appeared a few times, but I'll keep an eye out for you in the past few days. President Baisu said lightly. Since that's the case, let's go to Yu's house first. Let's go, Yu Guliang will lead the way. Xiao Yang was not a procrastinator either. After the assessment was over, he agreed to Yueru's deal and immediately said to Yueru. Oh? You're leaving so soon? Yueru was obviously taken aback by Xiao Yang's attitude, but she felt a little warmth in her heart. Come on, I'll lead the way. Oh? You're leaving so soon? Yueru was a little worried just now, but her mood wasn't better, but when she heard Xiao Yang say this, she couldn't help but couldn't believe her ears. Yes, I also passed the assessment. There is no way to refine the medicinal pills in a short period of time without the magic core in the medicinal materials. Besides, you also said that your father's time is running out, so I just went to see it first, and take advantage of the time now. Click to complete the transaction. Xiao Yang explained. President, thank you, we'll go first. Yueru was obviously a little happy because of Xiao Yang's refreshing just now, so she said goodbye to President Baisu and took Xiao Yang and the others out of the association. Pay attention to safety on the road. Qingcheng is not a peaceful time. I wish your father a speedy recovery. President Baisu said with concern. Then I'll borrow the president's words. After Yueru responded, she took Xiao Yang and the others and disappeared from Baisu's field of vision. There are three major forces in Qingcheng, the Alchemist Association, the Yu family and the Lei family. The Alchemist Association has always maintained a neutral relationship. The relationship between the other two is also harmonious, and they developed together in Qingcheng. There has been little friction in these years. The three of them were walking in the downtown, and Qing Yuan was walking on the road looking left and right, like a curious baby. Yueru obviously found Xiao Yang, and the fire elf owned by Xiao Yang should be able to save her father. Walking on the road, she was very excited. After so many searches, she finally found it. Xiao Yang also shook his head and walked straight up, following behind them to prevent accidents. Hey! Be careful! Xiao Yang hurriedly stepped forward and grabbed Yueru, who was about to bump into someone else. Aren't you blind without eyes? Dare to hit us? A few people behind a man in black said viciously. Big brother, these two girls are so beautiful and beautiful, why don't you catch them back? After a few words of ridicule, he realized that Yueru and Qing Yuan in front of them were a bit beautiful, and couldn't help but think of something wrong. One more thing is worse than one less thing. The most urgent thing now is to go back first. This is not good. Anyway, we've done so much, and there's no shortage of this time. The eyes of the men behind the man in black looked at Yueru and Qing Yuan with fiery eyes, as if they had already thought of something, and their faces were extremely wretched. All right then, let's fight quickly. The man in black was also helpless, and then a scroll-like thing was instantly crushed, and a space that was isolated from the world came quietly. Bang bang bang. The two followers attacked Yueru and Qing Yuan respectively, and their grasp seemed to be compressed by the slightest air, trying to take it down in one fell swoop. 1-star Do-D. Xiao Yang couldn't help muttering to himself, looking at the strength of the two. Xiao Yi instantly emerged from Xiao Yang's body and stabbed at the man who attacked Qing Yuan and Yueru. The terrifying temperature actually burned the two men into nothingness. Well deserved. This flame is so terrifying. Ha ha ha. This flame is really strange. I think it is not an ordinary thing, so I will accept it unceremoniously. The man in black didn't notice Xiao Yang at first. Following the two women, they were usually followers, and they couldn't be too powerful, so they didn't pay attention. But now Xiao Yang summoned Fire Elf. This is different. Although the man in black did not recognize that this is a Fire Elves, this kind of heaven and earth wonders are hard to come by, and everyone wants to get them, and some even want to get this kind of thing. You can also do anything. Since Liangzi has been forged, then don't leave. The man in black slowly took off his cloak, revealing his original appearance. It exudes an evil aura. Looking closely, the white hair is obviously caused by cultivation, which makes people feel a little uneasy. The terrifying and evil aura emanated from the man in black in circles, making Xiao Yang feel a little numb. This aura should have reached the consummation of a 3-star Do-D. Xiao Yang said slowly, looking at the aura emanating from the man in black in front of him. I'm sorry to cause you trouble, I'll stop him later. You run away. You still have a fire spirit on your body. You are the most important person to save my father. I will protect you even if I die. Yueru frowned, bit Bei's lips lightly and said seriously to Xiao Yang. Don't worry, since I promised you, I won't break my promise. Besides, I don't have the habit of hiding behind women. Xiao Yang looked at the stubborn Yueru and comforted him. What about the man in black with the perfect emperor? After the last words are explained, you can die. Don't worry, after you die, I will cut you with 1,000 swords and take out the fire elf. I will also love these two female companions by your side, ha ha ha. The man in black laughed. In the small enclosed space of the man in black, unless it is a 4-star Do-D, it is impossible to break through this space, and fighting in this space has some enhancement to the man in black himself, and it is also a great strength to Xiao Yang. The weakening, this is the roar of fearless. The corpse turns into a bone hand. The man in black launched an attack on Xiao Yang. A palm attacked Xiao Yang with extreme speed, and the palm exuded incomparably evil power, as if there were some huge palm phantoms looming in the palm. Great heavens, fortune palm! The terrifying heaven-level fighting skill was instantly displayed from Xiao Yang's hands. With their palms facing each other, the evil and uncomfortable aura on the Bone Demon hand merged with the strong aura on the Great Heaven's Fortune palm. Boom boom boom. Violent energy ripples came round after round. Although the palm-to-hand with Xiao Yang just now seemed ordinary, people with discernment had already seen that Xiao Yang, who was helped by a different fire, obviously had the upper hand, while the man in black fell downwind. Yueru always thought that Xiao Yang was only skilled in refining medicine. Was not enough in actual combat, because many medicine refining masters needed protection in actual combat, but from the battle between Xiao Yang and the man in black just now, Yueru discovered that he was wrong. Xiao Yang seemed to have not only made great achievements in refining medicine, but also did not lose himself in actual battles, so he couldn't help but have different emotions towards Xiao Yang. Brother Xiao Yang, this man in black is the murderer who attacked the Mu family. Qing Yuan vaguely remembered that the one who attacked the Mu family that night was also with this evil aura. And even though it was very late that day, Qing Yuan remembered all the faces of the murderer, so he could point out this time again. It turns out that you are the murderer of the Mu family. It's really unfortunate. Since you also want my flame, let's see if you have that ability. Then don't leave, and stay for the people of the Mu family. Apologize. Xiao Yang heard Qing Yuan's words and approached the man in black. Originally, she said that when Yueru's business was over, she would go to find the murderer of the Mu family to avenge Qing Yuan's revenge, and then she would fulfill her wish. I never thought that this would save a lot of trouble. Why does this breath feel a little weird? It seems to be the aura of the aliens. The Golden Dragon King and the aliens fought tens of thousands of times, and they were so familiar with their auras that he immediately said angrily, "Can you handle it?" The Golden Dragon King asked Xiao Yang slowly. 3 mysterious transformations of heavenly fire. Clan marks, get up. The terrifying energy ripples slowly calmed down. How can it be? Samsung Do Emperor is complete. The man in black couldn't help but lose his voice. He still had the strength he had relied on, but in Xiao Yang's roar, he felt a sense of fear. This kid actually has such a terrifying increase. However, there are so many secrets in your kid. First, there is the flame that you can't meet, then the secret method of increasing your strength in a short time, and the unusual flame. My interest in you is getting bigger and bigger. That's it. Although the man in black was a little surprised, the strength between the Do-D and the strong is not something that can be resisted by the increase of the little secret method, and the external force is the external force after all. However, the secret method is an external force after all, and it is not on the same level as the real Samsung consummation. Now I will show you the real Samsung consummation's strength. Everything you rely on is ultimately vulnerable in the face of absolute strength, so let me smash your dependence. The man in black looked at Xiao Yang with disdain. There's a lot of nonsense. Xiao Yang also said to the man in black, since the man in black in front of him was the murderer of the Mu family, then he couldn't let him go. The incomparably tyrannical fighting spirit continued to radiate from the man in black, and the huge power was vaguely transformed into a dragon hovering above the man in black, roaring constantly. Qing Yuan and Yueru felt the terrifying fluctuations from the energy dragon that day. Xiao Yang was quietly brewing something in the palm of his hand, and quietly looked at the man in black in front of him. Xiao Yang, if it doesn't work, we will retreat first. You knew very well the strength of Do-D's powerhouses. Yueru's words are not only for Xiao Yang to save her father's life, but more importantly, she cares about him. It's all my own reasons that cause trouble, so I can't help but blame myself. Since I met him, I'll solve it for him. Besides, if you don't mess with them, they will come to you sooner or later. Xiao Yang seemed to see what Yueru was thinking and said, "The soul of a high-level alchemist is very delicious. The taste of the Mu family a few days ago was really unforgettable, but I believe you will be more delicious." The man in black looked at Xiao Yang greedily with a twisted face. You are the murderers of the Mu family, right? Xiao Yang was also clear in his mind, and immediately asked. Anyway, you are all going to die, so what if you know it? The Mu family has got their hands on something that shouldn't be touched, so it deserves it. The man in black obviously thought the winning ticket was in his hands, And he told Xiao Yan and the others as if the winner was speaking to the loser. The same sarcasm. Is it something that shouldn't be involved? I'm very curious about the kind of thing you said. Why not give it to me? Xiao Yang said maliciously. Ha ha ha. You kid can't protect yourself and you still think so much. The man in black mocked with disdain. I think it's you who can't protect yourself. Golden Demon Puppet, come on. A puppet comparable to a 2-star DI? You really are full of treasures. Before the man in black finished speaking, the Golden Demon Puppet attacked him with his golden fist covered. Boom boom boom. The fist of the man in black and the fist of the Golden Demon Puppet faced each other. One punch fell. The man in black obviously took a few steps back due to the strength of his fists before stabilizing his figure, while Jin Yaopup's dead grey pupils and the golden bronze body that didn't fluctuate a little bit posed a posture of punching. Obviously, after the baptism of the 9-color Dan Lei again, although it has not fully evolved to the level of the Golden Demon Puppet, the current Golden Demon Puppet's power on the flesh is not weak at all, although this does not rule out that the black-clothed person in front of him did not use it. All for the sake of it. How is that possible? This puppet is a little weird. The man in black didn't think that a puppet that was comparable to a 2-star DI would be so strong. It was discovered that this puppet was actually covered with the power of thunder. That seemingly simple punch, in fact, the entire fist is covered with the power of thunder, attacking with the power of thunder. No wonder he can make himself take a few steps back to stabilize his footsteps. Although the Golden Demon Puppet gained the upper hand at the beginning, after the men in black became wary, the Golden Demon Puppet was also losing ground under the complete strength of the 3-star DI of the man in black. The original simple golden and bronze body was obviously swept away by the black one. Xiao Yang couldn't help but feel a little bit distressed when he saw how many holes were beaten. The battle between the Golden Demon and the man in black is going on continuously. Looking at the Golden Demon who is about to lose it, Yueru and Qing Yuan are also biting their lips because they both know that once the Golden Demon is defeated next came Xiao Yang. Huangquan Heavenly Fury. Xiao Yang finally completed the fusion of Buddha's Fury Fire Lotus. A delicate lotus seed suspended in Xiao Yang's palm exudes terrifying power. Just when the man in black was complacent, Xiao Yang completed the fusion of the Buddha's Fury and Fire Lotus, but he did not rush to take action because Xiao Yang also knew that a strong man like the man in black would perceive the power of destruction in the face of it. It was immediately a soul attack and went away. Once the soul attack succeeds, causing the man in black to fall into a temporary stagnation, that's the best time to attack with the different Fire Lotus seeds. Moreover, Xiao Yang believed that only then would the winner be determined with one blow. Huangquan Qian's fury came quietly when the man in black was proud to deal with the Golden Demon Puppet. Puff puff. The man in black spit out a mouthful of blood, but he didn't stagnate. Damn it! Did you fail? Xiao Yang murmured while looking at the man in black. Cough, cough, it's such a powerful soul force. Thankfully, I prepared a hand when dealing with you alchemists, just to prevent your soul from attacking. The only ring on the man in black's finger was broken. Obviously, most of Xiao Yang's soul attacks were resisted by the power in the ring that resisted soul attacks, so it didn't cause much damage to the man in black. Are you helpless? Then welcome death. The man in black roared loudly. The Jialong entrenched on top of his head also solidified at this moment, and roared towards Xiao Yang. The Jialong roared towards Xiao Yang from the top of his head, and the air was full of the sound of breaking wind. The power of this Jialong could not help but make Xiao Yang feel numb in his scalp. Seeing this, Xiao Yang also turned the Buddha's Fury Lotus in his hand. Slowly lift it up, meet the dragon and go away. Ah! For some reason, the man in black suddenly shouted. Xiao Yang knew very well that this was obviously a symptom of a soul attack. It turned out that at this critical moment, Qing Yuan worked hard to stimulate his own vindictiveness, and a white light radiated from Qing Yuan to attack the man in black. The soul attack that Qing Yuan had just launched was even stronger than Xiao Yang's Huangquan Qian Fury. What secrets does this Qing Yuan have? Even though Xiao Yang was puzzled at the moment, the crisis had not been resolved at this time, and he couldn't let go of this fleeting opportunity. He raised the Buddha's furious fire lotus in his hand and threw it at the stagnant black-clothed man. Because the man in black was attacked by his soul and fell into a temporary stagnation, the terrifying dragon that he had just condensed also vanished in an instant. Boom boom boom. The Buddha's angry fire lotus directly attacked the place where the man in black was. The terrifying destructive power destroyed this small piece of sky. All of his followers evaporated, and Xiao Yi emitted a huge protective shield to protect Yueru and Qing Yuan, who fell into a coma. Xiao Yan was also panting heavily, looking at the place in the center of the explosion, muttering to himself. I hope you don't die, you have to let Qing Yuan kill the enemy. The Buddha's Fury Lotus has always been Xiao Yang's biggest killer. When in Qi continent, Xiao Yang used Fen Ju to forcibly fuse a variety of different fires into a tiny lotus seed with terrifying power, finding the right opportunity to inflict heavy damage on the enemy. Since obtaining the inheritance of the ancient Emperor Tuolsha with the power of the first Emperor Yang on the Ihua list, the fusion of Ihua has become much smoother, and the power is also much greater, although Xiao Yang has his own master left behind. Emperor's Flame Ring. There are also a lot of medicinal herbs and fighting skills in it, but when you come to Duty continent, one is that there is no time to study carefully, and the other is that there is no suitable place, so now you can deal with the strong. There are few fighting skills that can be used to attack, and you can only rely on the violent force of the fusion of different fires to kill. Boom boom boom. The terrifying berserk factor rippled in circles and circles. A huge tunnel appeared where the man in black was originally, and the aftermath spread out in circles, and after a while, there was smoke. After dispersing, in the huge tunnel, a mutilated figure slowly appeared in front of several people. Originally, the man in black was a little disdainful of Xiao Yang, who used the secret method to increase his strength. He thought that this kind of ant could easily handle the ants in his hands. How could he imagine that this kind of ant could actually display such a terrifying offensive, and he almost died. This Xiao Yang in front of him is really damn. The man in black who survived from the blast center, Xiao Yang looked at it carefully and only lost one hand and one foot. You must know that it was the Buddha's furious fire lotus, which was bred by combining the violent power of the 6 different fires, and it also fell into a short stagnation after the soul attack of Qing Yuan's full-strength strike. The only means of defending against the soul attack was Xiao Yang. It was shattered in the previous attack, and even Xiao Yang's strongest attack only caused heavy damage to the man in black. That man in black with a complete 3-star Do-D would be so terrifying. The black-clothed man's hands and feet continued to have some dark black blood flowing out, and the blood flowed from the broken hands and feet, giving people a pungent smell of blood from afar. Little bastard, you can actually force me to be so embarrassed. I have to kill you today to sacrifice to my demons. The man in black roared at Xiao Yang with an unsightly face. Xiao Yang looked at the ferocious face of the man in black before him, and almost subconsciously made a move, because even though the man in black suffered such heavy damage, the aura emanating from his body was stronger than just now. Years of combat experience made Xiao Yang know that it meant that the man in black in front of him was going to use his trump card. Even if they die together. All dead souls obey my orders, sacrifice. The man in black took out a bag with his only remaining hand, and shouted loudly. Immediately, some soul bodies flew out of the bag that the man in black took out, all of them flying into the sky. Just drown in this darkness. Ha ha ha. After speaking, the unsightly body of the man in black burst into flames. Xiao Yang felt the smell of destruction from the actions of the man in black, and the attack that was almost on the verge of being shot had to stop under the demonic energy that filled the sky. Pieces of dark aura slowly floated into the sky from where the man in black was, forming a huge figure. The original face of the man in black was projected into a huge evil figure in the sky. Except for the head, the whole body of the huge figure was covered with dense human heads. Damn it! Master, what should we do? Xiao Yang asked in a deep voice. Indeed, the situation in front of him has surpassed Xiao Yang's understanding, and immediately he had to ask his master Jin Longking for help. This? It's actually the corpse control method for the soul of the corpse demon family. The Golden Dragon King exclaimed in surprise in the ring. Don't worry about this, look at the black shadow on the ground where the man in black is, That means that the soul he collected has not been fully integrated into the ghost in the sky we are in, etc. Because this corpse demon family pays attention to collecting souls and controlling corpse puppets, this is a good thing for you. The Golden Dragon King couldn't help laughing. Master, why don't we save them and let the ghosts merge like this? I'm afraid. Xiao Yan didn't know the strength of the Golden Dragon King very well, so he couldn't help worrying. It's not impossible to save them, but according to my observations, most of them have been eroded by the demonic energy of the demon race, and their sanity may not be completely left, and these souls already know that even if they fight hard, they will inevitably be swallowed up, but if you liberate them, wouldn't it be a big supplement to you? The Golden Dragon King looked at Xiao Yang and asked. As for my strength, you can rest assured. When I was at my peak, this kind of ant was not worth mentioning, even if the state of my soul is not something to be afraid of. The Golden Dragon King exuded a powerful coercion. Although the Golden Dragon King is not a pharmacist, his understanding of pharmacists is no worse than others. Although it is indeed too cruel to use the soul to enhance the power of the soul, it is better to help these souls to free them than to be enslaved by the demons. It will be very grateful to integrate into Xiao Yang's body. Because after all, they are all strong in the Great Thousand World, and the Great Thousand World is at odds with the demon race. Collecting souls? It's the same as the Soul Clan on the Dochi continent back then. Although the purpose is different, the method can only be collected by killing countless creatures. Yu read, Xiao Yang looked at the sky. The phantom that was still strengthening, more and more souls drifted to the sky from the black smoke turned by the men in black. There are weak souls, and there are also powerful souls, but they are all merged into the shadow of the sky. Xiao Yang saw a trace of prayer in their eyes, as if praying for Xiao Yang to free them. After all, they are all from the great world. The strong, even if they die, they are not willing to be used by the demons. See? When the last soul merged into the shadow in the sky, the shadow exuded a monstrous and evil aura, causing the entire small space to tremble slightly. Xiao Yang looked at the huge ghost in the sky and remained silent. In the distance, Yueru had just recovered from the vibration of the Buddha's wrathful fire lotus, and then she saw the moment when the man in black turned into a gigantic ghost. Her little hand couldn't help covering her slightly trembling lips. Today, I'm going to die. Are you here? Qing Yuan, who was on the side, had just launched a soul attack, which obviously used all the strength of his body, and also passed out. Xiao Yi stood beside the two girls, looking like a cute porcelain doll from a distance. Xiao Yi, Yueru, take good care of Qing Yuan, stay away, trust me. Xiao Yang hurriedly comforted. Xiao Yi and Xiao Yang have a heart-to-heart connection. Naturally, they know Xiao Yang's plan. They stretch out their pink and tender little hands and pull Yueru and Qing Yuan back. Yueru said, Sister Yueru, don't worry, the master will deal with it, we have to trust the master. Seeing that Yueru was not so frightened anymore, her eyes focused on the thin man in front of her. Master, now that the shadow is fully formed, what should we do? Xiao Yang listened to the words of the master, and waited until the shadow was completely condensed before asking. This video will end here.